I grew up on Highway 66 in a small town in Oklahoma, halfway between Amarillo and Oklahoma City. And I had Ozzie and Harriet parents. I had a fabulous community. It was a great time. I grew up in the 50s and 60s. I was happy, I was secure, everything was great. I don't have any of those terrible childhood things to talk about. But I always thought that I would do what everybody else does, that I would grow up, I would then get married, and I would have kids, and my life would be pretty much like my parents. Well, it didn't exactly end up that way, but I still have a lot of those remnants of that life still in me. Like, I was a big doll person. At one point, this is one of my dolls from my childhood. At one point, I had 42 dolls. I had so many, I hung them on the wall with pins. Again, I had a very unusual bedroom as a child. I had it all tweaked out exactly like I wanted. My parents just shook their heads. But with my dolls, I have a history. I have about 18 of them left with me. And I have a history of all my clothes that I wore as a child, because every time my mother made me something, I never had a purchased dress from a store until I went to college. My mother said, "Paul, we've got to get the child a store-bought dress, just one, to go to college." So my mother made out of the scraps, she made clothes for all my different dolls. And so I have a whole history. I have boxes and boxes of the doll clothes. I was always very attracted to dolls and household things and cooking and ironing and hanging the clothes on the line. Oh, that was one of my favorite things. And bringing the clothes in, of course, when there was going to be a storm or if the sun was too bright, because we didn't want them to get bleached out white. This is a book I kept, and as I reflect back, I think this is how I learned to live my life. I mean, this was a textbook in my high school, The Teen Guide to Homemaking. I read it backwards to forwards. I knew everything in it. It has all the things you would want to know as an adult. You as a person, getting along at school, your health, grooming, selecting your food, your clothes, how to take care of them, getting ready to sew, making your clothes, your friendships, making the most of yourself, you and your room, planning family meals, understanding children, health in the family, the food groups. And you know, this book is kind of was the basis for my life in a lot of ways. However, it didn't turn out exactly as I thought. I did take the dolls. I've collected more dolls. My house is full of dolls, doll faces, jester faces, clowns, odd kind of mask and things of that nature, because I just somehow am drawn to that. Faces that I collected in Thailand on my trip there and from other places in the world. And people say, "How do you sleep in that house with all those people looking at you?" But it doesn't bother me. It's comforting to me. I had a doll house as a child, and I just had all kinds of plans and arrangements and how I was going to live my life as an adult, and the laundry and the cooking and the taking care of the children and the parking the car in the garage. I had a great time with that. Then my dolls, I'd take them outside, blankets, take all their clothes, and we would do all those child imaginary things of taking care of children and being the parent and having babies and all that kind of thing. So I was married for about 10 years, and I've been divorced for about 40 years. And definitely those 40 years have been me. I mean, there's been men and boyfriends and in and out of my life for short periods of time. They kind of come and go for various and sundry reasons, but I really like being by myself. I really like not having children, and I've never regretted that decision. And I have all the dolls, and I had decorate my house, and people come in and they just marvel. They go, "Oh my gosh, I've never seen anything like this." And HGTV came and photographed and filmed my other house before I came here, and then CBS Morning News came and filmed, CBS News local actually, came and filmed this house. And at the end they said, "Wherever Erilyn goes, weird will follow." Now, this is the little girl in Oklahoma that turned weird.